Hello and welcome. My name is Melissa Mancl.
I'm Jim Sievwright.
And we're from the Breaking Point. In recognition of August being Treestand Safety Month, we are here today to share a few basic tips on tree stand safety along with how to properly use the hunter safety system. Not only are Jim and I both avid hunters, but we are also active members of local fire departments where we've had involvement with tree stand rescues and dealing with patients that have suffered tree stand injuries. For this reason, we have special interest in educating hunters on how to stay safe while hunting, especially while climbing in and out of the tree stand. As you may have heard before, approximately 1 in 3 hunters will suffer from a tree stand accident at some point in their hunting career. Although injuries from these tree stand accidents can vary greatly, some of them can leave hunters with life-altering disabilities. When you think of tree stand accidents, you probably associate them with something like losing your balance, missing a step, or slipping off the platform. Although these do happen, there are many other ways that can cause tree stand accidents to occur. For example, pegs falling out of the tree, ladders rusting, or cords fraying or corroding. For this reason, it's extremely important to do routine checks on not only your tree stand, but also your gear.
What I'm going to walk you through is safety on the harness. You're going to want to make sure you keep it well taken care of, not just thrown anywhere where it's going to collect dirt, dust. And then you're also going to inspect it every time you use it. Make sure you have the correct size of harness, because if you don't have the correct size of harness, it could hurt you on your fall. You're going to want to make sure that you have the harness securely strapped to you, not really loose, because you'll be able to sustain other injuries if it's not properly applied. This is the Lifeline that we use, which is a hunter safety system piece as well. And this is a very important piece of the equipment, because when we apply this tool, it's a lifeline from the bottom of the tree all the way up to the top of the tree. Once you get to the base, you clip into the harness, and then you walk all the way up the tree. As you go up the tree, you slide the prusik of the hunter safety system line all the way up as you go. So if you would lose your footing, have an health issue where you pass out, it catches you where you're able to either get yourself collected and back onto the tree stand, or you call for help.
So this is my vest here, and as Jim mentioned earlier, we did thoroughly inspect this vest to make sure that it is safe to use for us climbing up into the tree today. And again, you want to ensure that you have the correct size vest for yourself. You don't want to be borrowing someone else's vest. You want to have your vest. You know that it's inspected, you know that it's safe to use, and it fits you appropriately, which is extremely important when you're climbing in and out of the tree.
Okay, now as Melissa's making sure she's putting her vest on, she's going to make sure her chest straps aren't twisted, and then make sure also that her leg straps are all straight, uniform, nothing's twisted. And then as she clips in, she's going to make sure that it clips into the clasp very snug, firm, not loose where it can pop out. And then as she cinches it up, she's going to make sure that it's snug, hand tightness, snugness, because you do not want them really loose, because if you leave them really loose, you're setting yourself up for a severe injury. Okay, now that Melissa's all properly buckled up, everything's properly cinched up the way it should be, one hand tightness around the groin area and the chest area, everything's properly secured. Now she's all ready to clip into her hunter safety system line and ascend up the tree. Now that Melissa's all ready to ascend up the tree, she's gonna clip into her hunter safety system line here. And now that she's all clipped in, now she's gonna ascend up the tree. And as she ascends up the tree, she's gonna slide her lifeline with her. So if she would lose her step, or something would happen where she would lose contact with the ladder, she would have the lifeline above your head, so when you fall, it's there right away to catch you.
Now that we've reviewed the hunter safety system and Lifeline products and how to properly use them, we'll take a moment to talk about action plans and rescue plans. When you consider an action plan, you should be thinking about what routine you're going to have each and every time that you go hunting. This can include notifying a family member or friend on where you'll be hunting, what time you'll be going, and approximately what time you'll be coming home. By having an action plan, if something were to happen to you while you're climbing in or out of the tree and you needed help, your family member or friend would be able to know where you're hunting at and if you're not home on time. And then in addition to action plans, we also want to talk about rescue plans.
Rescue plan is very, very important because if you don't have a rescue plan, you have a small little window depending on how long you're hanging up in the tree. Basically, you have 3 to 5 minutes tops where you can hang in a tree because your circulation gets cut off. So one of the big rescue plans I have in place is I always tell my cousin when I'm going out, I always keep my phone up in my upper pocket, so if I were to slip, fall, my action plan for having a rescue is my cousin has a tractor and all my stands are pretty tractor accessible, where I would call and say, hey, I'm hanging, I need you to come rescue me out of the tree. He brings his tractor, raises his bucket up, picks me up where I can stand up and safely unclip, and then he'd lower me to the ground.
That concludes our video on tree stand safety. We want to thank you for taking the time to join us and hope that you found this information helpful. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and we want to wish you a safe and successful hunting season.